Imagine going from just a simple plan to a fully deployed website with an AI teammate handling all the heavy lifting, the design, the code, everything. Well, today, we're going to break down how two brand new tools from Google are making that exact thing a reality. So let's dive in and see how it all works. All right, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to look at why the old way of building websites is just broken. Then, we'll jump into the new agent-driven solution, and we'll see the magic that actually connects the design to the code. After that, we'll walk through the exact steps to get from a plan to a live site. And finally, we're going to tackle the big question. What really happens when AI becomes your new development partner?
Okay, let's kick things off with a feeling that I'm sure most developers out there know all too well. We're talking about the pure chaos of building a modern website.
Yeah, this quote, it just says it all, doesn't it? For way too long, the whole process has been fragmented and, honestly, super frustrating. You're juggling way too many tools, and all the steps just feel completely disconnected.
I mean, does this sound familiar to you? You've got 20 browser tabs open at all times. You're digging through half-finished Figma files. You've got a Git repo that only makes sense to you, and God forbid anyone else has to look at it. And you're constantly asking, hey, where are the latest assets? It's a pipeline just packed with friction.
So the big question is, how do we fix all this chaos? Well, the answer seems to be a completely new agent-driven workflow, and it's powered by two key tools from Google, Antigravity and Stitch.
The easiest way to think about them is like this. Antigravity is your builder. It's the one that creates the structure, the foundation, the scaffolding of your whole site. And then you have Stitch. Stitch is the designer. It's the AI agent that actually generates production-ready UI and UX, all from a simple prompt.
Now, the crucial thing to understand here is that Antigravity isn't just another IDE. Not at all. It's a workspace that's been designed from the ground up for AI agents to plan, write, and even run your entire application. It handles all that foundational stuff like project structure and routing, so you get a real solid starting line.
And then on the other side of the equation, you've got Stitch. Think of this as your personal AI design partner. You just give it a prompt, and boom, it generates multi-page, totally professional designs that are ready for production. It helps you blow right past that dreaded blank page and gets you into the creative process instantly.
Okay, so having a smart designer and a smart builder is awesome, right? But the real breakthrough, the thing that changes the game, is how they talk to each other. So let's pull back the curtain and look at the secret ingredient that makes this whole
Is the secret sauce, the Model Context Protocol, or MCP for short. You can think of it like a bridge. It's what allows the AI assistant to talk directly to your entire project. We're talking your files, your Git history, even your build tools and tests. This means it's no longer just some chatbot stuck in a separate window. And this quote just nails it. An AI that can see your repository is an AI that actually understands context. That's the difference. It doesn't need you to copy and paste code snippets anymore. It can just read the files, figure out the dependencies, and make changes intelligently all on its own.
So with MCP connecting everything, the workflow becomes incredibly streamlined. It's simple. You provide the plan, Stitch reads that plan, generates the designs, and creates the files. Then it's a clean handoff. Antigravity takes those files and builds the working website. It's like a perfect relay race between the two agents.
All right, this all sounds amazing in theory, but you're probably wondering, how does it actually work in practice? Well, the entire process hinges on one critical thing. You have to start with a clear, detailed plan. And I can't stress this enough. This part is absolutely critical. You can't just throw a vague prompt at it like, build me a SaaS website, and expect magic. The AI needs a blueprint, not a messy thought bubble. Your success with this whole system really depends on having a clear specification file right from the start. Think of these 3 files as your project's brain. Site spec is the master plan, defining everything. AI rules, well, that sets the guardrails for your AI, basically telling it how to behave, like use TypeScript and know any types. And finally, the release checklist is your final quality check before you ship. Stitch and MTP will be constantly looking back at these files to make sure they stay on track. And here you can see the entire life cycle, laid out nice and simple. You start by planning with a detailed spec, then you generate the initial structure with Antigravity. You connect Stitch with your rules, and then you get to the fun part, iterating on the components, content, and SEO. Once you're happy with it, you run that checklist and deploy. It's a clean, repeatable pipeline every single time. Okay, Let's zoom out for a second and look at the big picture here. Because what this new workflow really represents is a fundamental shift in how we think about and interact with AI in the whole development process. We're really moving away from this idea of AI as just a simple generator, something that just spits out isolated code snippets with zero context. We are now entering an era where AI is an active teammate. It's aware of your entire repository, it follows the rules you set, it can run tests, and it can genuinely help you maintain the project over time. And this really captures the synergy between the two tools perfectly. Antigravity is like the rocket launch. It gives you that huge initial momentum to get off the ground. But it's Stitch with MCP that creates this continuous loop, keeping the AI engaged and helpful throughout the project's entire life. It shifts the work away from just clever prompt engineering and back to what we all love, actual building. And really, that's the ultimate takeaway here. This is not just about making pretty UI mockups or generating some boilerplate code anymore. This combination of tools enables a complete, end-to-end, agent-driven workflow. It totally transforms how we go from a simple idea to a fully live application. So